Today, we're gonna be doing how to compress masters for your beats. Hi, my name is Tyson. I'm a mastering engineer here at Dinosaur Dog Mastering, and thank you for watching this video. Last video we just looked at, I EQ'd 3 different beats for the master. And so today we're gonna be finishing those off. We're gonna be compressing and limiting those beats and see what the final product actually sounds like. Also, a shout out to CJ Nonsense for providing the beats for this video. If you like the beats that you hear inside of this video, you can go check out his channel. There's a link in the description of this video for that. And as a bonus for watching this video, you can pick up my free ultimate mixing checklist by clicking the first link in the description. Also, just a side note, if you want a sample master from me, I do give those out for free as well. So if you're interested what your song would sound like mastered by a professional, go ahead and also link in the description for that as well. Without any further ado, let's dive straight into the content of compression for mastering beats. So I don't see any obvious issues or hear any obvious issues. It looks like this might have been clipped already, so there's no stray transients that we need to worry about. So let's just dive straight into just our normal compression, which is just adding one compressor and then the limiter. So hopefully this goes pretty quick. So let's grab Dynamics. I lied. We're definitely going to have to deal with some of these transients, because we're already peaking at -3, which, well, actually, it might be okay. Let's just try it without clipping and see how far we can get.
Yeah, so I really don't want to push it louder because it's kind of already a saturated mess. But I'm going to try just a couple more things to see if I can control that a little bit. I mean, it's hitting the last limiter a little bit too hard, so we're going to go back a couple steps here. Try to control that coming in so I'm not hitting that last limiter quite so hard. I think that's as much as I can really do. The issue is that it was so compressed in the mix itself that there's really just nothing I can do to remove distortion from the track itself. So it would definitely be a lot clearer, a lot more powerful if I was able to have the original track without any prior limiting or clipping going on inside of it. I still think it sounds better than when it came in. So here's the before. But honestly, if this was a paid project, then I would be asking CJ to send me a quieter, something that wasn't clipped or limited or anything. Like, I want at least 6 decibels of headroom before I master anything, and this is exactly why. Because it's just a distorted mess in the low end, especially. I can't do anything about that at this point. Enough said. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so now we're moving on to the next track of this. This is Lethal. And let's get after it. So I think that the actual compression stage is going to be very, very similar to the last one, where we're still going to be kind of struggling against some of that distortion. So again, we really don't want to hit that master, especially that last limiter, too hard and create too much distortion. So I might think about using a different approach. We'll find out as we kind of move along here. I'm going to go ahead and clip it before, just to try to create a little bit more headroom for ourselves. what I'm doing with this compressor is I'm using a lot faster attack than I used in the last beat, just to try to shave off a little bit of that transient of the kick, so that hopefully I'm creating enough headroom for myself when it hits that limiter that's not going to distort quite so much as the last one. Let's see where we're at dynamically wise. It is compressing a little bit more hard there, but because there's some give and take, I don't feel like it's really crushing the life out of the song too much, so I'm good with that. I think my approach here worked a lot better than the last one, and I'm definitely hitting this limiter a lot harder than 3 decibels of gain reduction, but I really just, in order to get the volume out of it that I wanted, the loudness, I think it was worth it. So, okay, let's move on to the last one before I bore everybody to death. Okay, so now we have our last track, finally. We're gonna finish this batch of masters off, and we're gonna be compressing this one. So, again, similar to the last ones, I think we're gonna be using a very similar approach. We're gonna clip off just those peak transients a little bit, give ourselves a little bit more headroom, and then we're gonna move on with our normal compression chain. So first things first, let's pull out our compressor and we're gonna clip a little bit off. That's pretty compressed, pretty loud, but I think that's kind of what I want for this one. So there we have it. I'm gonna do a quick before and after of all of these masters for you right at the end here. And so let's dive into that. Now we are finally at the end. We have mastered all 3 of these beats, and we're gonna do the before and after. The before versions are all the ugly orange ones, and then the pretty purple ones are the after versions. So we're just going to go through each of these. But one thing you notice right off the bat, especially for like this one, you can see there's no dynamics in the before version, but in the after version you can see like there's actually some dynamics. You can physically see that. It doesn't look like a string of duct tape when this 808 comes in. That's a plus for the master side, just because having that dynamic information, you're able to actually feel the song a lot better. It will translate better to streaming and other services too. Definitely important to try to maintain your dynamics if at all possible. I was a little bit confused when I first saw this of why the after version has more dynamics than the before version, because technically I compressed it even more. It shouldn't have more dynamics, but it's because the original version had all of the dynamics just taken up by that low end frequencies. Because I cut that just a tad and then also enhanced all the rest of the mix, rest of the beat, the top end, it created more dynamics because all that top stuff hadn't been, brick wall limited at the beginning. Here's what we have. Let's actually dive into the before and afters. Alright, so here's obscurity before. So this one is incredible to me because you can tell the before basically has no dynamics at all when that 808 comes in. However, the after version has a lot more dynamics, but it doesn't sound quieter. It's actually a lot quieter because you can just read on your mat meter. This is the average volume here is what it's reading, and it's way quieter, but it doesn't seem quieter. The reason is because all of that loudness is really caused by the 1K to 6K range. That is what humans interpret as being loud, and so it doesn't sound loud, it doesn't sound quieter, even though technically it is. That is just a result of having a better sonic balance overall. I didn't notice that quite as much with the lethal beat, but with this one you can really see that. So let's listen to it one more time and just pay attention to the loudness between the two, and you can go ahead and look at the meter to see what the actual technical measurement is. This is why just hitting a specific target on your measurement meter is not enough to make a song loud. So even though we do have some distortion that was introduced in the after version, I think it's still just, it kind of lifts a whole blanket off of the song and it just sounds more full. So I'm really happy with how that one turned out. Let's go to Puppets before and after. So again, we have more dynamics. It doesn't really sound quieter. It does sound more full. There's a lot more top-end information that it just kind of lifts. Again, the best example I have is just lifting a blanket off of the song and making everything just kind of come to life a bit more. There is the before and after versions of mastering for Beats. I hope you enjoyed. If you found this at all helpful, make sure you subscribe. I release videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to help you get better and more professional music. Thanks for watching and have a fantastic week.